Just minutes from now, President Obama will take to the stage in Las Vegas to kick off a new offensive in dealing with the country's real estate crisis. The president wants to help homeowners avoid foreclosure by allowing them to refinance their mortgages. Nearly 1/4 of mortgage holders in the United States are underwater, and Nevada leads the nation in foreclosures. Joining me now is Congressman Elijah Cummings, Democrat from Maryland, who has been at the forefront of the fight against foreclosures and the crisis they're in. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Martin.
The housing market is absolutely key, as you know, to the welfare of the American economy. Do you think the president's proposal, and we don't have much detail yet, but do you think this is going to make a difference today?
I think it will make a small difference, and I applaud the president for doing this. You know, Martin, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, a number of us in the Congress, about 18 members, met with the acting head of FHFA to urge him to move this process along. The president had just announced this before a joint session of Congress that he was going to do something that would allow homeowners who were underwater and current in their mortgages to be able to get the lower interest rates that we are seeing now. And so we have a situation here where the program has already helped about 900,000 people, but according to the experts, it should help about another 900,000 by the end of 2013. That's a small step, but at least it's a major step in the right direction.
You know, sir, that your political opponents don't like this kind of intervention, and Mitt Romney actually had this to say recently about the problem. Let's listen to what he said.
Don't try and stop the foreclosure process. Let it run its course and hit the bottom, allow investors to buy homes, put renters in them, fix the homes up.
I guess with everything Mr. Romney says, it sounds perfectly plausible. Do you agree?
I think Mr. Romney is out of touch with America. Every 6 months, I have what I call my foreclosure prevention conference, where we have homeowners sitting down with lenders. And Martin, I can tell you, I wish Mr. Romney would come and see grown men cry and see families that are on the verge of being put out of their houses. Maybe then he can understand a little bit better. Sitting up on his perch and making these kind of statements only can make Americans very angry. And Americans want relief. And again, I'm talking about people, Martin, who have been able to make their mortgage payments even in these tough times. Give them a break, help them out a little bit, and that's what this is all about.
How do you answer the charge, sir, that this is too little too late, that in a way the administration really could have intervened much sooner in the housing crisis?
I must tell you that we have been pushing in the Congress for intervention for a long time, and I wish the administration had moved a little faster. But the fact is that they're moving. That's the main thing. And we're going to be meeting with Mr. DeMarco again this week, and we're going to say, we're glad that you did what you promised us a month ago, but now we don't want you to mistake a comma for a period. This is only the beginning, and we want to push them to do even more things.
It's obviously a good beginning. As you said, 900,000 people will be helped, and that's it could amount to thousands of dollars to some people. But isn't the central issue here the banks, both in terms of existing loans and the new criteria for borrowing? And isn't it time that these banks, which currently enjoy vast profits, as you know, yes, can they not be forced to help desperate homeowners?
Well, I agree with you totally, Martin. The problem is largely the banks, and there's some things that the president can do and the Congress can do, but unfortunately, our Republican Congress sits still and don't want to do anything. They take the position pretty much of Mr. Romney. But the fact is that Mark Zandi, the economist and the advisor to Mr. McCain, has said over and over again, unless we deal with this housing problem, it's going to be almost impossible to deal with the economic problems that we see in these recessionary times. So we've got to deal with this. Not only that, we want to save some folks some pain and some heartache. And one of the things that people have to keep in mind is that when you put somebody out of a house, they've got to live somewhere. They also have to remember that neighborhood values go down in houses all all around that area where there's a foreclosed house. And so it's very important that we address this. Again, this is a first step, but I think it is one that we must now use as a foundation to do a lot more.
I get the economics, but finally, all of this discussion just seems to be without any kind of compassion. That just doesn't seem to resonate anymore. The idea that people have to leave their houses and sleep in a car, that's fine. The fact that people can't get a job, that's their problem. Is that what this is about now? Is this the culture which we're in?
I think we suffer from a compassion deficit. Many folks suffer from that. And we've got to get back to taking care of our own. The fact is that America got the reputation that it has received by the way it took care of its own. And I think we are falling short of that, of taking care of our brothers and sisters. And now we've got to get back to that. And so we and the Democrats in the Congress are going to continue to push for these changes so that we can help our fellow Americans get through the storm. It is a difficult storm we're in. But as I say to my constituents, the question is not whether the storm will end. The question is who will be in your house when it's over. Who will have your job when it's over? Or will those jobs even exist? So we've still got a lot of work to do during the storm, but I think with steps like this, we'll get through it, and on the other side, we'll be better off.
We pray so. Congressman Elijah Cummings, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.